things just now I said. Please understand, okay? See, the set of markup language or code placed in a file intended for display on a web page, web browser, the answer will be HTML. Then sets the standards for HTML and its related language. Answer is World Wide Web Consortium. Then you can see here, each markup code represents an HTML HTML element. Then tags, HTML element or the tags of HTML element. See, HTML element, the tags are enclosed in angle bracket. The symbol is what? Opening and closing angle bracket. Opening and closing angle bracket. I hope you understand.
Yes, doctor, it's clear.
Then document type definition. Document type definition. One minute. It is classic error. You don't do other. Document type definition. You can see here, identifies the version of HTML contained in your document. Document type definition. Okay. Identifies a version of HTML contained in your document. What is that? Document type definition. Then placed at the top of a web page document. What is that? Document type definition. So in the next slide, you can see, placed on the top of the web page document. What is that? Document type definition. Placed on the top of a web page document. What is the answer for that? Document type definition. Doc type. Then see here, for example, I already shown you actually. So in the question, it is written like opening title is available. Opening title, it is available, but the last part is missing. What you have to enter? What you have to fill? Angle bracket opening / title, and you have to close the title. So same like that. If you open heading, you have to close the heading. If you open HTML, you have to close the HTML. If you open body, you have to close the body. Then head session, you can see head session. So contains information that describes the web page document. See, contains information that describes the web page document. What is that? Header. Contains text and element that displays the web page document. Which part of the HTML contains the text and element that displays the web page document? Body session. So the web page that contains information that describes the web page document, where we will place in the head session. Contains text and element that displays in the web page document, body session. I hope you understand. So you already know the heading levels. H1, you have to close. H2, H3, you have to close. So the big heading, the largest heading comes with the heading level 1. The smallest level of heading comes with the heading number 6. I hope you understand. Understand or not?
Yes, doctor, it's clear.
Then paragraph element, P. See, P. So group sentences and section of text together. What? Paragraph element, P. Group sentences and sections of text together. Which tag? P. Then line break element. Line break. So BR is called as line break. So causes the next element or text to display on a new line. Which tag will help that for that? BR. Okay. The element, HTML element, causes the next element or text to display on a new line. What is that? Line break, or the tag we will write for line break as BR. Then block quote element. Intends a block of text for a special emphasis. Intends a block of text for special emphasis. Which one? Block quote. Okay. Block quote. Indent. It will create an HTML element that indents HTML element that indents a block of text for special emphasis. What is the answer? Block quote, or this one, block quote. I hope you understand. So B, the tag element B, bold text. See, bold font. EM, emphasized text. So here you can see it will be displayed in italics. I, italicized text. Here also it will style the text as italics. So if you have to be EM or if you have to be I, the text will be displayed in italics. In WhatsApp, I asked you one question. I don't know whether you see or not. I asked you the same question. Which tag will give you the same answer? Yeah, one of the tag that gives the same output as I, italic. Which tag? EM. You understand? Today I asked you one question to the WhatsApp. One tag which will give you the same answer given by this tag. Okay, which is another tag? EM. So if you use EM also, the text will be displayed in italics. If you use I also, the text will be displayed in italics. You understand? You clear? You're clear or not?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So if you have to be this EM tag along with the web page document, you will get the paragraph or any of the part of the web page. It will be italics. The text will be displayed in italics. If you use I also, the text will be in italics. Then mark. See, mark will highlight the text. See, highlight the text. You can see here. Text will be highlighted. Okay. Then if you use small, the text will be displayed very small, displayed in small font size. Okay, small font size. Then strong, you see here, strong text. The text will be displayed in bold. So here you can see, if you use bold, the text will be displayed in bold format. If you use strong, text will be displayed in bold. You understand? If you use bold, the style will be or text will be displayed in bold font. If you use strong also, the text will be displayed in bold. I hope you understand. Bold.
Yes, doctor, it's clear.
Yes. Then subscript, SUB, subscript. So what is this actually? Subscript. So you see, lower, small text below the baseline. SUP, superscript, small text above the baseline. So today in WhatsApp, I send you one question actually like x square minus x square. So which tag you have to use? Which tag you have to use? Whether it is SUB or SUP. I asked one question through WhatsApp. X square, see like this. I cannot type the x square minus x square like this, which means the x square, the square will come like what? It is like a superscript. I don't know whether it is available in this or not. It's not available. X square minus x square. So what is the answer for that? Like that I asked. So if the text is above the baseline, if the text is above the baseline, see the text is above the baseline, then you have to use the tag superscript SUP. If it is below the baseline, then you have to use the element, HTML element SUB. So bold, if you want to make a bold text, you can use either B or strong. To make italics, okay, both will give you the same output. M and I will give you the same output. Mark, it will highlight the text. See the different types of HTML list. I hope you already know about this. Unordered list, ordered list, and description list. Okay. 3 types of HTML list. You have to study this. Unordered list, that's another you have to study. Theory, like theory you have to study. Unordered list, ordered list, and description list. And you have to explain with example. Unordered list, but display a bullet, okay, before each entry in the list. Display a bullet or list marker, or display a bullet before each entry in the list. 1 minute. So please listen. Unordered list, display a bullet, okay, before each entry of the list. What is the tag used for unordered list? UL, contains unordered list. And for contains an item in the list, if you want to include items in the list, then you have to use LI. Then, so this is one example. You know that how to write UL code. Okay. Then ordered list displays a numbering or a letter. Okay. Displays a numbering or letter. Okay. In the items of information contained in the list. Which tag you will use? OL. Contains ordered list. Okay. LI contains an item in the list. So example, you can write this or you can write by yourself. Then description list. What are the tags which we are used to describe? Okay, a list. You can see description list is useful to display a list of terms and description or a list of frequently asked questions and answers. So the description list is also a type of list. Okay, it is a type of list, HTML list, and it is useful to display list of terms and descriptions or a list of frequently asked questions and answers. So what all are the tag which we will use for description list? DL, DT and DD. What is this DL? DL is description list. DT, description, a term or a phrase or a sentence. Okay. Configures empty space above and below the text. DD contains a description. See, contains a description of the term or phrase or sentence. Here indents the text. See, this is also DD. It is also contain a description for that term, for that phrase or for the sentence. See, DT contains only term, phrase and sentence, and also it will create empty space above and below the text. DD, it contains a description of the term, phrase or sentence. But the difference here, you can see it will create and indent the text. Indent the text. Okay, it configures empty space above and below. So here opening DL, closing DL. Here DT, it describes the terms, phrase. See, terms, phrase or sentence. But DD, it also gives the description for the term, phrase and sentence, but it will create an indent. You see here space. Space. You see the space. Indents. You can see this one. The space. Indents. Indents what? Indents the text. So the three different types of list, HTML list, ordered, unordered and description list, and you have to study. Then div element. Div element configures a structural block area or division on the web page with the empty space above and below. What is that element? Div. The HTML element that configures a structural block area or division on the web page with empty space above and below. Which element? Div element. The HTML element that contains other block display elements including other div element. What is that? So this div element also contain other block of display element including other div element also. So this sentence HTML element that configures a structural block area or division, structural block area or division on a web page with empty space above and below. What is the answer? Div. Then the different structural elements. What are the four different structural elements? What are the four different HTML5 structural elements? What are the four different HTML5 structural elements? Header, nav, main, footer. Okay, header, the tag is this or syntax is this. Contains a web page document, what are headings. Nav, I asked during when you come and ask, show your assignment, first assignment, I asked you what is NAV. What is NAV? It contains web page documents main navigation. So what is the use of NAV? It contains web page documents main navigation. This is also a structural element, HTML5 structural element. Then you can see main and is another structural element. The syntax is main, opening and closing. The web page document main content. See here it is content. Here it is navigation. Understand? Then footer, another structural element of HTML5. The syntax is this. Contains web page documents footer. Here header contains web page document headings. Here footer, web page document footer. I hope you understand the four HTML5 structural elements. This you have to study. What are the header, nav element, main element, footer element? So the definition and the syntax for each and every thing you have to study. Okay. Then this you have to study. Anchor element. You have to study this. Anchor element. This you have to study. Specifies a hyperlink reference, href, to a file. So what this anchor element will do? It will specifies a hyperlink reference. We will call it as href to a file. Then text between opening anchor element and closing anchor element is displayed on the web page. See, there will be a text. See here, there is a text. See here, you can see there is a text between the opening anchor and closing anchor. Two properties of anchor element. So first specifies a hyperlink reference to a file. You can see hyperlink references to a file. That is what? The first function or first property of anchor element. Second one, text between, see the text between, see here the text contact us. This is a text. The text between the opening anchor and closing anchor is displayed on the web page. So which text you mention in between the opening anchor and closing anchor, that will be displayed on the web page. So this is what the use of anchor element. So href, see here href, this is an attribute. It indicates the file name or URL. This you have to study. Anchor element. So see, specifies what? Hyperlink references to a file. Second one, the text between anchor element. You see here the text is contact us, is displayed on the web page. Then href, actually href, it is an attribute. It is an attribute. Indicates the file name or URL. You can see file name, contact.html, file name, or www.google.com or www.jasan.edu.sa, like that. This you have to study. Then the next one, this also you have to study. Absolute and relative hyperlink. Absolute link to a different website. Example, href http://yahoo.com, and the text specifies the href, the hyperlink reference to a file, and also the text. Then relative link links to a page on your own site. See here, different website, link to a page on your own site. So absolute link to a different website. Relative link to page on your own site. And example, a href index.html, that is your file which is available in your own site. I hope you understand. So you have to study anchor element, you have to study absolute and relative hyperlink with the example. See email, you can see automatically launch the default email program configured on the browser. Email hyperlink, see here, email to, email hyperlink, this is mail to colon, and you have to type the email address. Automatically launch the default mail program. So which hyperlink? Email. The hyperlink that automatically launch the default mail program configured to the browser. What is that? The hyperlink? Email. Hyperlink which one? Email. Okay. I hope you understand. So in this chapter, you have to study absolute and relative hyperlink for Nadari and anchor element for Nadari, And you have to study the ordered list, unordered list, the three different types of list. Slide number 18, 19, 20, then 21, 22, 23 and 24. That also you have to study. Then the structural elements of HTML5. The four structural, this one, the 29, 28. The structural elements, the four structural elements of HTML5. I hope you understand. My dear students, you are available or not? You understand or
Okay,
not?
doctor.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Now we will move to the next chapter. See, next chapter, that is CSS. I will move with that actually. So now the chapter number 3, that is all about cascading style sheet, CSS. In this first slide, you can see used for years in desktop publishing. What is that? Style sheets. Apply typographical styles and spacing to printed media. What is that? Style sheet. So I want to say from this chapter also you will get both theory and amali, which means Nadari and amali you will get. Amali and Nadari type question you will get. Okay, same like chapter number 2, you will get a question both Nadari and amali, theory and lab you will get. See, during the lab hours, I have shown you one question to one external style sheet. External style sheet, you have to write and you have to link that external style sheet. Write the code to link the external style sheet to the HTML code. I don't know whether remember or not. I have shown you actually. Then you can see CSS provides functionality of style sheet for web developers. What provides functionality of style sheets for web developers? What? CSS. Then a flexible cross-platform based standard-based language developed by W3 consortium. What is the answer? CSS. Then what are the advantages of CSS? What are the advantages of CSS? Greater typography and page layout. Style is separate from the structure. Styles can be stored in a separate document and associated with web page. Potentially smaller document, easier site maintenance. So you have to study this. The advantages of CSS. Okay, the greater typography and page layout. Style is separate from the form structure. Styles can be stored in a separate document and associated with the web page. Potentially smaller document, easier site maintenance. Then you can see in this picture, you can see a single cascading style sheet file can control the color, typography and layout of multiple web pages. See, a single dash file can control color, typography and layout of multiple web pages. What is that? Cascading style sheet. See, cascading style. Then comes to the different types of cascading style sheet. This you have to study: inline, embedded, external. Okay, different types of cascading style sheet. Different types of cascading style sheet. You can see inline, embedded, and external, imported. That is what it is written. So, see, cascading style sheet. Inline, where we will write inside the body session. It is HTML style attribute we will use HTML. So for inline, we will use HTML style attribute. Apply only to the specific element. What type of style? Inline style. Then embedded styles, where we will write inside the head session. Here, HTML style element we will use. Style element we will use. Apply to the entire web page. You see here, entire web page document. Here, inline style apply only to a specific element of the web page document. Here, embedded style apply to the entire web page document. Then the other type of style sheet, external style sheet. Separate, you can see here, separate text file with the .css file extension. Okay. Associate with the HTML, what? Link. See which element we will use? Link element in the head section of a web page. Okay. So external style sheet, we will create a separate style file. The styles will be used, we will open a new we will open a new file and we will write the CSS file style sheets and we will save it as .css file extension. Then that external style sheet we will link, okay, to the web page using HTML link element where on the head section. Then I hope you know this actually. So the configure a web page to display blue text and yellow background. Text, blue text. You see here, blue text, yellow background. So for what?
Doctor, what about slide 7?
Just you understand. See, it contains selector and declaration. You see here, selector, declaration property, declaration value. Declaration property is separated with a colon, and the selector will be the body or paragraph or H1 or H2 or whatever it is. The selector, three parts are there: selector, declaration property, declaration value. Okay, the declaration property will be separated with the colon. See here, configures the web page to display blue text and yellow background. So the selector is body, web page, you see, a web page, which means the body, the page to be the page of the web. Okay, so the text, you see, text color is blue, background color yellow. So these two properties are separated with a semicolon. Declaration property and declaration value separated with colon. Declaration properties are separated with the semicolon. You can study some of the CSS properties. Some of the CSS properties. Okay, common formatting CSS properties. You can study some of the properties. See, we have already studied inline, embedded, and external. So in detail, it is written with the syntax, with the example. See, inline CSS configured in the body of the web page. Okay, body of the web page. Use style attribute. So here you can see one example. Inside the body for heading, they are using the style attribute. Okay, style attribute. The property, it is written style attribute apply only to a specific element. Here only to this heading, the CSS style is applied. Only to a specific element. Okay. So configure red color text in an HTML, in an H1 element. So for in an means only to a specific element, only to a specific element. So for that is inline. So here only for H1 using the style attribute we will give the style. So that is what CSS, where we will give this attribute is available inside the body of the web page. So for configuring the inline, we will use style attribute of an HTML tag. So the style attribute for H1 tag, H1 the style attribute is style and the property is written color, some color. Okay. Then another one, configure the red text in the heading, configure gray background in the heading. Two properties for one selector. So here you can see H1 style attribute, using style attribute, red text, color red, separated with the semicolon. Background color for the heading, the same heading H1. What is that? Gray. So separated background color. You can see this is one. These are some of the examples. Example of inline text. Then the next one, embedded style or internal styles. See, embedded style or internal styles. Where it will be configured? It will be configured under the header session, document type, HTML, head. Inside the head element, we will use this embedded style. So use HTML style element. You see here, style element. You see opening and closing. Inside the style element, we will write the CSS style sheet. Okay. Inside, under the head, inside the style HTML element, we will write the tag for what embedded or internal styles. Say, apply to the entire web page document, not to a specific document. Apply to the entire web page document. Okay. The style declaration contain opening and closing what style tag. See, opening and closing style tag for embedded style sheet. Under head, under the head session, inside the style element or style tag, we will write the CSS embedded styles. Okay. So one of the example, configure a web page with the white text on a black background. See, under the head session, see, if you want, I will type it here, HEAD, under the head. Okay. Under the head session, inside the style tag, inside the style, we will write what the embedded style sheet. Inside the web page, you will write, okay, and it will be applied to the entire web page. I hope you understand. Then the next one, it is also called as internal style sheet. Then these are some of the examples. Okay, this is for this style is for body. This is for H1 heading 1. This style is for H2. Okay, embedded style sheet. These are some of the examples. Then some of the properties for configuring the text. CSS properties for configuring the text. Font weight. So if you use font weight, boldness of the text. Font style, italic style, text to and italic style. Font size of the text. Font family, typeface of the text. Font weight, boldness of the text. Font style, text to an italic style. Font size of the text. Font family, font typeface of the text. These are some of the CSS properties for configuring the text. See, the serif font family, the font type faces Time New Roman, Georgia, Times Sir. Sans serif font family, the font typefaces Arial, Veranda, and Geneva. Font family, monospace, Courier, New, Lucida, and Console. See, font family and the corresponding typeface. Okay. Just understand this. These are all examples of embedded style. Then you can see some other type text properties, line height, height of the line of text. Text alignment of the text. Text indent, indentation of the first line of the text. See, text indent, indentation of the first line of the text. Text decoration, you can see appearance of the text. For example, underline, overline, or line through. Then text transform, capitalization of the text. Text shadow, a drop shadow on text. So these are some of the text properties. Height of the line of text, alignment of the text, indentation of the first line of the text, appearance of the text such as underline, overline, line through, like that. Text transform, capitalization, big letters, capitalization of the text. Text shadow, drop shadow on the text. Then CSS selectors, this also you have to study. CSS style, that is for Nadari, okay. Style rules, you can see the different types of CSS style rules. HTML element selector, class selector, ID selector, and descendant selector. So class selector, you can see here class selector, one of the CSS selector, apply a CSS rule to certain class of element on the web page. Certain class of element. It does not associate style to a specific HTML element. Certain class, only to a certain class of elements to the web page. Not to everything, only to a certain class of elements on the web page. Then configure with the dot class name. See here, dot class name new. So that is class selector. Okay. So example, you can see here, class name is new. So inside the style, we will call the class name with the dot class name new. See, the class name here, it is represented as new. We will call the class name with a dot new and write what type of style you want to apply for the paragraph. That you have to write here, which means contain class of elements on a web page. Okay. Then the next one, ID. Another type of CSS selector, that is ID selector. Apply CSS rule to one element on a web page. One element on a web page. Here in class selector, class of elements. Class of elements. Not only for the class of elements it will be applied. But for ID selector, apply CSS rule to one element on a web page. So configure with the hash ID name. So here one example, ID equal to new, which means only to the one element. What is the element here? P. Only to the paragraph this style will go, not to the entire paragraph. Only to the paragraph. One element on the web page. See, one element on the web page. So this style will be applicable only to the one element paragraph P. Hash new. Then descendant selector. It is specifies an element with the context of its container or parent element. Then you can see here, it is also known as contextual selector. Also known as contextual selector. So the example, it is written here. So configures a green color text only for the paragraph tab located within an element assigned to ID name content. So some ID name is content. Inside that ID, it is a ID name. One tag is P. Whatever the element, only to that P, the styling will be applied. Descendant selector specifies an element within the context of its container or the parent element. So what is the advantage of this contextual selector or descendant selector? Reduces number of classes and IDs you need to apply in the HTML. So this will help you to reduce the number of classes and ID selector which we need to apply on the HTML. Then span. So you have to study the different types of selectors, the ID selector, class selector, descendant selector with the example. Then span, you can see, configures a specially formatted area displayed in line with other element, such as within a paragraph. What is that? Span. So external style sheet, you can see CSS style rules are contained in a text file separate from the HTML document. CSS rule, you have to study this. CSS rules are contained in a text file separate from the HTML document. That is what external style sheet. So we will that is a separate text file. We will save it as .css. Okay. In that text file only contains style rules. In that page there is no HTML tag. There is no HTML tag. So external style sheet, internal, external and embedded. Okay, internal, embedded and external. External, which means contains CSS style rules. It is contain a separate text file from the HTML document. So how this external file sheet text file, we have to save that separatest file with the .css extension, and that text file, it contains only style rules and does not contain any HTML tag. Then multiple web pages can associate with the same external style sheet. See, this is one external style sheet written in a separate text file with the file name site.css. Maybe in Notepad or maybe in any HTML text, any editor, we will write separately. We will open a new file and we will write this, and we will save with the file name.css. That is what. So this style will be applied to multiple web pages. See, number of web pages are available. All these styles can be applied to multiple web pages. You see here, multiple web pages can associate with the same external style files. Then you can see link. I hope, see, if you want to link the external style sheet, okay, if you want to link the external style sheet to the HTML page, then you have to use the HTML link element. It is a self-contained tag placed in the head session. Okay, what is the main purpose of this link element? Associates this external style sheet file within the web page. You can see here, link, relative, what is that style sheet? href, what is the name of that style sheet? Color.css. So what is the main purpose of this link element? Associates the external style sheet file within the web page. So it is placed in the header session. So see, after giving After typing the style sheet in a separate file and save this, okay, then you have to link inside the web page under the head session. See, under the head session, you have to write. See, under the head session, you have to write this. I hope you understand. Under the head session, this line you have to write, which means the style sheet which you have created externally, you have to link. Okay. See here, one external style sheet with the name color.css in a separate file. External style sheet in a separate file, text file. Okay. In that we have written this style sheet in a Sublime, in a Jadir Sublime, or in a new notepad, new notepad file. We will write this, and after that, after finish typing this, we will save that file with the color.css, for example, and afterwards, which means externally we saved the style sheet. Okay, externally we saved the style sheet. So this style I want to use in my web page. Okay, I want to use this style inside my web page. So how it is possible? We can use this line. So associates the external style sheet called this color.css. The HTML code placed inside the head session. See, I have written already here inside the head session, and you have to write this using the link element. Then rel means relative, in code style sheet, href, reference, hyperlink reference to the external style sheet file name, color.css. I hope you understand. So this is what all about this chapter. So I said to study the theory part, the advantages of CSS, inline, the different types of cascading style sheet, inline, embedded, and external. With example, you have to study. Okay. I hope you understand. Understand or not? So from chapter number 2 and chapter number 3, you will get both theory and Amali. That is Nadri and Amali questions you will get.